Good.
I could have had more fun.
You're good.
I need a picture of my shirt. Because I'm advertising for the Mob King.
The Mob King? Who is the Mob King?
He is...
A Mob King. Sounds like he sounds like somebody that that you don't want to take home to mom or something. I don't know.
I want to take him home to mom because he's awesome.
Let's get into it. Let's find Aether. The band Aether. Hugo Hernandez.
Oh,
we're gonna get Hugo Hernandez in here. Mr. Hugo Hernandez, the biggest star in the business. Don't believe him, just ask him, he'll tell you. No, I don't think it's that way.
I'm the biggest.
We've got to ring the group. I always love ringing the group on Skype because then they.
I had somebody respond. Are we allowed to Skype them?
Yeah, here in a few.
Sweet.
I have hopefully our guests joining us here in just a few seconds, and it is the Sunday radio broadcast. It is live. It is local. It is all the shenanigans. And Jaybird Wells has ventured into the into the lair here. She has her own green screen. Once I find out from Angel Medina how to fix this, she'll be live from Italy, and live non-sports clothes today. Mr. John Mosier. He had WSU on yesterday. Now today he's just being John. Damn it. Can't handle this. And we are going to be joined by our guests here in just a few seconds. There's one of them. And how are you, sir? Uh-oh, I can't hear you.
I can't hear him.
Uh-oh, are we going to have a mime show? I did this with a porn star one time where we had
I remember
where they held up cards. They wrote things on cards and held them up.
Well, didn't we have somebody do sign language once?
We had somebody do sign language one time. I had a porn star on that did sign language. So maybe we've got this band today that is going to do sign language.
For some reason, it's saying he's muted on my thing.
Well,
okay, he's supposedly muted.
I can finally hear John.
Let me see this.
Oh, I just finally talked.
Let's see.
I was trying to be nice to you considering as your birthday.
I love you too,
Well, he must be muted on his own end because he's fine on my end. He's got, I believe, a Stitzy Kid shirt on, which I have to find out how he knows that guy. But I can't hear him, so I'm never gonna know the story. You may have to hang up and then fix it and then call us back because sometimes
it works.
Sometimes that's how that happens because I did that with IQ one time where
you don't have any other apps or programs up running.
Well, that too. He'll call back. I've been trying to figure out what Angel Medina did the other day with his Skype and his green screen. I know. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Because I have a Matrix background that I used for Zoom one day.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And I'm like, if it's just a JPEG image, so I'm like, why not bring that in over here? But who knows? Later today, we are going to be, we're supposed to be chatting with Aether, I think is how you pronounce their names. As soon as he gets his sound issue figured out, he'll call back. Then we're supposed to talk with Lola Montez, I don't know. And then I've got a name and I've got a phone number, and I've got a time, but I don't have a name. And then we're going to be talking with a guy by the name of Big Estate. He, of course, is, say it with me now, a rapper. And
no, you couldn't have guessed from that name.
and then at the top of the hour, we have Irv Munchnick, who is he appeared he is not from Oz, but he appeared on the he was one of the consultants, one of the people that they consulted when they made the Jimmy Snuka Dark Side of the Ring, and he was on that show for a little bit of time, but he's got so much information. And I am very interested in looking and chatting with him today. He also has some knowledge of the Chris Benoit tragedy, so we will talk to him as well. And then John, not to be confused with Mosier. Yes, he did. He wrote 2 books, one on Snuka and one on Benoit. as I used to refer to him.
I have got some insight on that.
John, not Mosier, will join us. Well, John Mosier will join us then, but this John, there's a random John that I have on here, which, I don't know. We'll figure that out. And then Jomo Mason will join us, whoever Jomo Mason is. And I heard something, so I think he's back. Can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Look at that.
Yeah.
I've got you. Fantastic.
Perfect. Awesome.
Let me get the old Skype-a-rooney set up here so we can bring our guest in. And first of all, before we get started about your band, I got to know the story. How do you know Stitzy, and are you a Stitzy kid?
In all honesty, I have no idea. I just got this shirt from a fucking garage sale.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Okay. That is fantastic. Well, there was a rapper. Of course, that's always how it starts on this show. He was in McPherson, Kansas, of all places. And he went by the name of Stitzy, which, of course, is on the Hugo shirt there.
Yeah.
And his fans were called the Stitzy Kids.
The Stitzy Kid?
So I didn't know if you had played a show with him and seen him, or if you were, at one point, a Stitzy Kid. No, it just turns out he was a garage sale buyer.
Yeah.
So...
I'm boring. I don't have an interesting
Well,
story.
no, I think that's great because that's how I came up with a Gold's Gym Venice Beach t-shirt one time. Is I bought it in a thrift store in Wichita, and everybody told me, they're like, "Oh, did you go work out at Venice Gold's Gym?" I'm like, no. That'd be awesome, but no.
I'm bad. I just got a stuffed animal that was called Boo Boo Bear.
And then you have your stuffed animal. So we have two great guests joining us today here on the old Skype, the old Skype-a-rooney. And Hugo, talk to us about this band and introduce your tag team partner here with us.
Yeah. Well, I'm Hugo Hernandez. I play guitar for a band called Ether. Over there, you see my good friend, Orlando. Say what's up, Orlando.
Hey, what's up?
So
and he does vocals, so.
That's awesome. So I love this email. Ether's first definition is the ancient Greek personification of the clear upper air of the sky. Or definition number 2, a colorless, highly volatile, flammable liquid, C4H100,
That's what I thought.
having an that's what you thought?
That's what I thought.
And then it's also an energetic 4-piece hard rock band based out of Dodge City, Kansas. So
That's it.
That must be it. The third one.
That is. So tell me about how you guys got this group started and everything.
Lando, you want me to tell him, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Lando and I, we used to play in a band years ago in a band called Guns on Mars.
Yes.
Nice.
And yes, and he used to play bass. I'd play guitar in that band, and that band ended up, breaking up about maybe 4 years ago. Lando, is that right? 3 or 4
Guns
years
on
ago?
what?
Guns on Mars. I
Yeah,
think it was
maybe something like that, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago. So him and I wanted to keep playing music, and the other guys didn't. So we decided to start Ether, and we had some friends of ours that played in other bands, or that we've known in the past before. That we just decided, hey, you know what, we should, we got riffs, we got ideas. Let's keep it going. Let's get this music thing going. But this time we decided to have Lando here do vocals instead of play bass, which he's a phenomenal vocalist, so it works in our favor. So,
Nice.
and we've been a band for maybe 2.5 years now, I think.
Yeah, we're going on year 3.
Yeah, we're going on to year 3, so yeah, about 2.5 years. Since then, we've released 2 EPs. We just released an EP called Bloom, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've been playing out as much as possible. I mean, it's one of our last shows before this whole coronavirus thing happened. We were just in, West Texas for a weekend run, and I mean, we had a bunch of shows that got canceled. We were supposed to be in Colorado Springs a couple weeks back, and
That's awesome.
but we play around as much as we can. Write music, play for people, and hopefully they enjoy it. So that's kind of what we're about, man. And like you said, on our bio, we're an energetic 4-piece hard rock band with influences like like Chevelle and Deftones, Stone Sour, bands like that. So that's kind of what you'll get from us.
It's awesome. So, why Jay is
I am
stalking them on the old Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. John, do you have any questions for the guys?
They pretty much answered what I would have asked, because I like to know like what the style is, who inspired them, kind of the idea of it. Is there much of a crowd out there? I mean, not trying to be a smart ass like that, but out in Dodge City, is there a huge hard rock crowd, or is it kind of a mix of the crowd, or is it?
For us, we found that it's a little more difficult, to find a bass hard rock metal crowd in Dodge City. Mostly it's a lot of country fans, but we do have our pretty good turnouts at our shows there in DC. We've got our home at Dio's that we're always playing at, and it always gets pretty lively in there. So, I mean, it's not too bad overall.
That's pretty awesome. We have got Ether with us today.
Wondering, because I didn't know it. Because
No, go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, it's like you've got like certain places here in Wichita that are kind of the same. They got a certain genre they like in there. So I just didn't know if it was the same way out in Dodge City or not, or in that general area. I mean, I know going into West Texas, you probably get a better crowd. Or do you guys ever like hit like up north or anything, or is it mostly like to the west and the south?
I mean, we've played, like I said, we've played in Colorado Springs in the past. We've been basically all over Kansas. We were just in Salina and Topeka not too long ago.
That's awesome.
A 2-day Texas run through Amarillo and what was the other one?
Odessa, Texas.
Odessa, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty far down.
That's way down there.
Yeah, and I mean, we played Oklahoma too. So yeah, just kind of around Kansas. That's kind of where we like to stick. So.
Just around.
Yeah, and like Lando was saying, I mean, Dodge City's very limited to where we can play. Like, we legitimately only play in one place, maybe another place if they ever let us. But we also play in Garden City a lot, which is we consider like our second home. We have like a kind of a DIY venue over there. I play in another band called the Merkins, and the singer of the band, he owns this barn out in the middle of nowhere. We just party out there, and it's always a good time. So
that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Ether with us today. They join us live here in our broadcast. And Jay, do you have any questions since you've stalked them and found them on all the various platforms?
I found out
Beware what you find.
Found out that I'd liked you guys here a while ago, so great. I think maybe we've interviewed you before.
Maybe you might have interviewed them when they were Guns on Mars, maybe.
No, I liked the Ether.
I do know that that we had them on the infamous Jiggy Jag TV back in Salina, Kansas, back in the day when they were Guns on Mars. And because I remember among one of the very famous Ninja Larry stories where we were setting up and Ninja Larry's like, "Guns on Mars? How do you get guns to Mars?"
It looks like
some
creepy pictures on here. You like into some of the horror stuff, or what does the music appeal to?
Lando, you want to talk about that?
Well, we do have a series, I guess, that you would call it. It's a collection of songs that tells a story, and that one, it started off as an unintentional kind of thing, but ended up being 4 songs spanned between a timeline of events. So, but most of the other songs that we have are just, overall of a overarching nature of mental health and that genre of thing.
Wow.
Kind of taking a deep dive and a look into those things a little deeper.
Yeah, there's like blood and guts and somebody shoving somebody's head up somebody's butt and.
I want to know which one you're looking at right now.
I don't know. That's
sounds like a normal Friday night at Jiggy's.
Yes, that's kind of what it is over here. Ether joins us today. You can find them on Facebook, AETHER, or Instagram, or on Twitter, AETHERDC. And they are fantastic. You can find them on Sonic Bids. We are going to play some of their music in the podcast portion of this broadcast, so you'll be able to find that on iHeartRadio and AMFM247.com. We'll be playing Bent and also Figure You Out and possibly Blue Pill. Tell us about these tracks.
Let's see. Bent is the first single that we wrote for our newest EP. Like I said, it came out a couple weeks ago. I mean, lyrically, Lando, you want to talk about that? You're the lyric guy right here. It's a heavy song, very very Stone Sour influenced, I would say.
Not to glorify, anything that happens in our country, like school shootings or anything, but it'll take you into a trip in somebody who's kind of just unstable and is having those thoughts of exactly that, just going in and getting rid of all of their problems, using whatever weapon or whatever they have at their disposal at that time. So it's kind of what that is. That's Bent for you. Blue Pill is our first single that we ever put out, and that one talks about the journey through the Matrix. So that one's fun.
Look at that.
Yeah, intense Blue Pill.
Know what I mean?
So,
a different definition there with Blue Pill. I wasn't sure. So.
Yes, I wasn't sure what was going on there.
I was like, oh wow, they really went from like school shootings to okay. It may not be too bad at all. Yeah,
we're all over the board, man.
Hey, sometimes you have to be to appeal to a bigger audience. So.
Yeah, we do have a highly sexy song as well, so that's fine.
That's awesome. So have you guys been writing music while all this has been going on, and you guys have been isolated from each other, or?
I mean, Lando has. I haven't been doing shit.
Well, hopefully you've been doing that.
Lando just wrote a demo. You want Lando? Right?
Yeah, I just wrote well, I've been writing multiple things, but we released a small little demo with a video not too long ago on our social media, and that was
awesome.
Kind of just something I've been working on for a while. But I've got probably about another 5 or 6 songs that I'm working on right now.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where do
a
you
lot
get
of our demos are like acoustic stuff, so
yeah,
that's usually how our music kind of starts. Is usually acoustic, and we just kind of go from there and bring the whole band in. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Where do you get your inspiration from? Just from personal lives or from books you read, music?
I mean, for me personally, like I started playing guitar because of Coheed and Cambria. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that band.
Yes.
No, Lando gets tired of hearing this one. But I'm a big fan of Coheed and Cambria. I discovered those guys when I was in middle school, and I'm like, dude, I want to do that. So I started playing guitar. But I mean, I draw my inspiration from lots of music, but not just rock music, like just music in general, because I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to music. I mean, I'll listen to R&B, hip-hop, country, some country music, not a whole lot, but just anything. And so I kind of draw my influences from that. So, yeah. Lando?
Man, I take a lot of my influences from Deftones, and
awesome.
They're like my all-time favorite band, and I can't get enough of them. I've got tattoos for them, and number one fan kind of thing. But most of the time in writing music, all I'll do is I'll sit there and I'll play jazz chords. Oddly enough, I'll play jazz chords over and over on a loop.
Wow.
Until I find a sequence that sounds really nice, and then I'll turn them into something a little more heavy.
Turn it into a song. That's fantastic. Well, I guess as we wrap up here, what have you guys been doing on your social media, and you can't play shows or anything. So have you guys been promoting anything or just being dormant on the web?
Seems like they're showing some old concerts and stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Lando and I have been talking about. I was like, dude, we got to keep busy, whether it be, on social media or just on our own time. Like, of course, Lando's writing music, but we also do a podcast ourselves that we just started doing like a month ago, month and a half ago. I don't know. It's been going on for a couple months, I would say. But we just kind of interview bands from all over, kind of like what you guys are doing. You know, we just kind of try to network with other bands and help them get their word out. So that's kind of what we do. Is we've been doing the podcast, releasing demos, been trying to do some fun stuff, like try to get people involved. Like we were trying to do a mashup video to get everyone to send us footage of them singing one of our songs or lip syncing one of our songs. So far, that hasn't worked out very well, but maybe eventually people want to be a part of that. But yeah, we've been trying to keep busy on our social media. Yeah, we're not cool enough, dude.
So how do we find the podcast and everything?
The podcast is available on Spotify. It is on Spreaker.
Yes.
What else is it on? It's on iTunes, I believe, too. And we do a live stream every other Sunday. So we would do one next Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's at noon, and it goes off of Facebook. And then we have a guy that his name's Derek Relaford. He
I know Derek.
Production.
He's great.
So yeah. And so he's been helping us with that. He's the one that does all the uploading to those, all those different platforms. So that's what he does.
He's pretty damn badass. I like Derek. He's got the green
cool
screen and everything. Well, I thank you guys for doing this. We're going to play some of your music, include that in the podcast portion of this program. And thanks for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for having us.
Definitely. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate it, gentlemen.
All right. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
And there they go. Ether. We are going to take a timeout.